Alright guys, here we are with an awesome thing for you here today, guys. We got issue 12. We're dishing them out as fast as we can. So without further ado, let's see what we're going to be doing today. So here's an awesome picture of the backside of Ecto-1. Of course, all that. We have stages 30, 39, 40, 41, and 42. And finally, we're going to be putting some pieces together to make our dashboard. So without further ado, let's get it cracking on the meat and potatoes of this particular model of build the Ecto-1. Here we go, guys. We have all of our parts. I brought back one of the key components that we're going to be needing for this particular model. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it all together here and see how it all pans out. So this is looking pretty solid. I think so myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to get on with putting in what I think is pretty cool is the glove box. So we're going to finally fill up this little gap here and put in our little glove box. And it's very much just like the real glove box that you would find in any old car. So I think that's pretty cool. And it even has a little silver piece where you can lock it. So that's pretty cool. What we're going to do is we're going to grab our little pieces here, these two pieces. We're going to put them in, and we're going to be locking them in with some BP screws. All right, and there it is, guys. This is amazing. It actually works. So that's pretty cool. I mean, wow. I'm impressed. It works. I might actually leave that open just to say that it works when it's all put together. But who knows? We'll see what happens next. All right, so we're moving on now, guys, to step 2. Step 2, obviously, we're not going to be needing this piece for this, but we will be needing this particular piece, and then, of course, our silver pieces, which we'll be locking them in. They don't screw in, they just kind of plug right in. Okay, so you have 39 Echo and 39 F. Each one is slightly different than the other. So, I mean, they're just slightly off by like just a little bit. One is looks like it's going to be for the radio, and one is for ventilation. So we're going to put those two pieces in, and they're going to lock right in. According to this one, they're going to lock into here and here. And there it is, guys. Just remember, ventilation is on the left, and then your heater controls and all that are going to be on the right-hand side. Don't worry, they are labeled L and R, so you can't mess it up. So I think it looks pretty good with all that silver there. Ooh, looks pretty good to me. So we're going to move on to step 3. Step 3, obviously, we are going to be mounting a piece here, and it looks like we're going to be mounting it kind of weird like. So what we're going to do is you're going to have it in there, and then it's going to get mounted. It shows it as putting it this way, and then you kind of just are going to screw it in through here. That way it lines up just like so. Alrighty, and those are going to be held in by some IP screws, so I'm going to grab those, screw this in, and we'll be good to go. And there you have it, guys. It's all put together, nice and good to go. Our next phase, obviously, is to attach it to here, and what they're asking for is that we're going to have to attach it kind of like so onto here. Okay, guys, and look at that. It's starting to look real good. Real good. All right. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with it. Everything seems to be coming along really good. I'm going to just tighten this one up, I think, just a wee bit. because I didn't like that play that it had. So, yeah. But other than that, everything else seems to be in working order. Nice and snug, nice and tight. I don't like gaps, so, so I guess that's alright. But for now, everything looks pretty good, pretty snazzy. Still got our brakes. Um, Looks like we're still looking pretty good. Alright. I really would like to see some spring action on there, but I'm sure that comes later. Alrighty. So now that parts for 39 are completed, everything looks pretty snazzy. So we're going to move on to stage 40. And we have it, guys, all the parts for stage 40. I like the way this dashboard looks. Really pretty tight. Alright, so what we're going to be doing for this stage is we're going to be adding a silver piece here, which are these. Okay, make sure that you put them in the right spot. Okay, don't put them in the wrong spots. It looks like you're going to have a hard time getting them out if you put them in the wrong spot. Then there's a EP screw that is going to go behind each one of these, which we have our EP screws here, and then we have our little silver piece here, and that one is going to be covered on step 3. Okay, and then on step 2 we have a little piece, which is this. It's kind of goofy looking piece, but we're going to have that, and we're going to be putting that in there. All right, that should be going right over here. It's just going to lock right into place. All right, that's it for step 1. All right, so now of course we have step 2, which is where we're going to be adding our little piece here. All right, and I believe it kind of goes in just one way. I don't really see it going any other way, so it's a little finicky here for right now, but let's see if we can fit that right up in there. Okay, there it is. It's in there. That's nifty. Okay, so now that that's in there, we're going to go to automatically into step 3. In step 3, we're just going to be putting our silver piece here, which once again, it doesn't lock into place. So it really doesn't specify which way it goes or anything. So I'm just going to place it on here. Okay. It's very finicky here, finding the right hole. Oh, all right. So I'm going to use the tweezers and come right back. All right, and there it is. That is the end of stage 40. All right. So without further ado, let's get on with stage 41. All right. So here we are. We have now stage 41, and we're going to be starting over here with our radio receiver box, and then we're going to be able to mount it to our dashboard. So that's going to be a great thing. Then later on, we're going to be starting to put in our silver pieces, which will be going along this half of the dashboard. So let's get on with it. All right. So now that we've got that all done, we have 2 here and then a little piece here, which is going to attach here. So there's no hiccups on how it goes in. Everything's already mounted in. We placed in our 2 pieces here. Now we've got the whole piece. You kind of stick it upside down. All right. Line it right up. Take your JP screws. Go ahead and put it in there. we go. And put in the next JP screw. I don't know about you guys, but this is kind of exciting to see that we're getting pretty far on this. I mean, I'm getting kind of impressed with the way this is starting to come out. But this is pretty nifty. Alright, so now that part is completed, we're going to go to our next phase. Now, our next phase is going to be our little silver box and our little speedometer here. And we're going to mount these two inside. Okay, so kind of only has one way to put it. Alright, I'm just going to do a quick wipe, make sure everything is got no fingerprints on it. And then we have to go from the back side and mount it in. It has a couple slots right here, so you're going to screw them in right here, and it says that we're going to be using AP screws for that. Okay, so that piece is in. Looks pretty nice, pretty snazzy. I'm pretty sure we have the lights that are going to go here, but that's okay. So now we're going to move on to step 3, and step 3 is looking like we're going to grab our silver here, and we're going to be mounting the radio, or what looks like a radio, but I don't think so. I think it's something to do with temperature gauge or something, but it says push the radio into place, so apparently it is the radio. I was right. Alright, so we're going to push the radio into place just like it says for step 3 here. Okay, so it's pushed into place. That looks pretty snazzy. Alright, so now that that's pushed into place, we need 2 EP screws to get that going. So we'll get the 2 EP screws going, and then we'll get ready to go again for, oh, I only need 2. Oh boy. Only needed 2. Alright, so we put the radio in, and of course, as usual, now our next phase is to mount the dashboard trim, and the dashboard trim is going to go right into place here, and it just fits in there real nice. I'm actually kind of impressed. That little trim makes it look a little good. And of course, once you fit the trim, takes excuse me there, it's going to take 2 IP screws. Alright, so there it is, the trim and the dash. I mean, that looks really nice, I think. So we've done all that. Our next phase is going to be step 5, which is going to require a few things. So we're going to be putting in a few more pieces here. It looks like some silver pieces. So let's see. So what we're going to do is we're going to put those silver pieces in, and we'll come right back. Okay, so here we have it. I put in our 2 pieces for this one. Now, it was a gray one and then the blue-green one. I had to go back to an old one here to find out, because there's a green one with like a bluish tint, so I had to make sure that wasn't it. Other than that, we're doing pretty good. So stage 5, we're going to be looking at getting a green one and a blue one. So we have our green one, then we have our blue one. Okay, and these ones are just little switches. Okay, and these little switches here are going to be held in by and 2 EP screws, and then a KP screw for one more, which is going to be this white one. So this white one here is going to be the next one that we attach. However, for now, stage 5 wants us to start with 2 of them, which are going to go right here. These 2 are going to go right in here. We have our little brackets, we have our things. So just remember the order of things. Blue is going to be on the left, and the green one's going to be on the right, with your blue-green one here on the far right. Alright, so just an update here. As you can see, these are the 3 cords. I'm now about to install the white cord, and that one is going to go right up in here. And the way that one's going to get put in is I'm just going to put it in just like this. That way all the cords are facing in roughly about the same direction. And then I'm going to mount this piece here, and then we'll be all set with stage 5, and most likely we will be all done with stage 41. So I'm going to end it with putting all this together, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay guys, that's it for stage 41, and we're going to go into our final stage now, 42, and that'll end the video here at 42. I've already made sure I checked all the buttons just to make sure that everything will click and not be busted. So everything checks out pretty good. Everything's right along really well here. So I'm pretty impressed with how everything's turning out. You can see we got some switches and some knobs that's going to show up on that side, so that's great. So without further ado, let's get on over to stage 42. Alright, here we are guys with stage 42, our final stage. We got some more brass, or well, some more chrome here. So I'm kind of intrigued on where that's all going to go. We got some more gauges. We got something here. It looks like looks like either it's a clutch or something, but I don't know. It could be a brake. I don't know. We'll get to that. But no worries, no fears. We're going to get into this. So without further ado, we're going to fitting of the antenna. All right. So the fitting of the antenna is going to be this black piece. Then what looks to be like this little silver piece. All right. So now we've got the antenna all built up, and it looks like we're going to be taking the antenna here. We're going to face it towards the outside, and then this screw face has to be facing on the inside. So that's a bit interesting, but hey. And then we're going to take our GP screws and we're going to mount it on so it'll look just like this. Alright, so the antenna's on. Everything's looking pretty snazzy so far. So our next phase is assembling the switch panel. That's where we have all those little chrome pieces. So I'm going to put our dashboard off to the side. Grab us this chrome, and then instead of boring you with me putting all these little pieces into here, I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quick. And then after that, it's going to take and get screwed on to the bottom half right here of the dashboard. So at least that's what it says. So I don't know how that's going to be, but yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, not the dashboard. It's going to get screwed on to this piece here. So it's going to be very interesting, guys. Looks like we're going to be getting pretty interested in this. So not going to be needing the dashboard here for a few. So we're just going to put that off to the side. I'll have this here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put these on. Alright, so this is going to be a little tricky, but we're going to take some BP screws and we're going to mount them. So we have one BP screw, which is going to go here. Okay, so we're going to prep that one. And then I got another BP screw, and that's going to go here. Alright. And then once those are in, you just kind of want to line it up just right. Get it nice and snug. Don't put it in too tight, because you don't want to break it. All right, so we have that in there. Everything's nice and snug. All right, so pull back on that one. Okay, so now that that's all snug in there like a bug, our next one here is to grab a little piece, which, yeah, so we're gonna grab ourselves a little piece. Once we grab that little piece, I believe it is our gauge here. Okay, this gauge piece, it's just going to line right up. It's going to go right here. And then once we get the gauge on there, then we're going to line it up with the screw holes. So it'll be lined up there. And then we're going to grab two EP screws and screw that in. Now that those are in, we have our other one, which is a little gauge. It lines up right here. This little gauge here. Well, there's a lot of gauges on this car. So we got a gauge there. And that one as well is going to be held in by some EP screws. So it looks like just one EP screw. So we're going to take that, screw it in there real quick, because I think that will finish us up with at least the gauges half. All right, so that'll be nice. Yeah, so okay, we get that in there. That gauge is nice and tight. Okay, so that gauge is all lined up, good to go. No issues there. Outstanding. All right, so our next phase is to take 42H here. Okay, that's this piece here. So we're going to take 42H and we're going to screw it in with an EP screw. And looks like it's going to go right up in here. So I'm just going to put it in. All right. I'm going to assume the EP screw is right there, because that's what it's showing here on this. So we're going to grab another EP screw that I have already prepped up, and we're going to screw that in. Get it kind of started. Okay. Now that it's started, I'm going to line it up. This isn't on there crooked. Okay. So there's that piece, and it's all screwed in. Nice and snug like a bug. All right. So that's all snugged in there like a bug, and that's good. All right, so we're going to move on to step 4. Okay, I have added 38G to here because our next phase is we're going to take these two pieces, put them together to create our little dashboard here. So what's going to happen is we're going to line them all up, and they line up real nice. Okay, so now that they're all lined up, looking good. All right, we take LP screws, and these LP screws are going to attach here, one in the middle, one on the end. Okay, so now that we have all that put together, we'll put those screws in there. Here's my LP screws, and we should be hot to trot. Once all that is completed and everything is done up, we will then begin to show the final look of stage 42 and the ending to this awesome video of Build the Ecto-1. Alright, wow, so here it is, a finished product of the dashboard so far, with our brake and everything all put in. What looks like our parking brake has been put in. We have all of our buttons. So our buttons obviously are going to be here, 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 and here. So we have all of our gauges in. Everything looks pretty snazzy. I think it looks pretty good. And all of our wires. So without further ado, I think everything looks pretty good. We still have our glove box that opens and closes, which is still pretty cool that it actually has a glove box that works. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, guys, this is it for the video. This is all I got for today's video. So once again, thank you for watching. Thanks for stopping by, checking out the Thompson Model Shop, and checking out our build on the Ecto-1. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to put them in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and share, and hit that subscribe button so you follow along and get all the next up-to-date stuff on here, because we have about 32 books total that we're going to be doing to build this whole thing, and my goal is to have it done here soon. So hopefully you guys will hang in with us and enjoy these videos. Other than that, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching the Thompson Model Shop, and keep on modeling, guys.